What's up guys, Simonamek here today, and for today we're just going to be doing a DIY because I got hungry and I've got nothing to do all day. So we're going to do a homemade recipe with just 3 simple objects: Polish sausage, sauerkraut, and banana peppers. Got my eye ready, gonna turn it on to high. I'm just going to dump this in there and fry it. It's a homemade recipe, just country style Polish sausage. Just going to get all that bounced around first, and we'll be back when most of that's done. The thing about this recipe is they fry fast. It doesn't take much to get them going, and it's easy cleanup once it's done. And the thing about this sauerkraut here, it's actually 100% homemade, so we know it's going to be good. Okay, so now it got all golden and just enough to where it's cooked, but it keeps all the juices inside. What we're going to do is we're going to take this homemade sauerkraut, we're going to start putting it into our bowl for mixing our spices into it. Spices are honestly the best thing that comes to cooking because you know exactly what you need just to make it taste how you want it. Wish I had a GoPro, but you know, kinda don't. So one hand is how we're gonna do it. So I'll clean all that up later. Got your sauerkraut in the bowl. I'll add more sauerkraut eventually, but spices, garlic powder, just enough to get all the flavor in there, but yet you can still taste it, but it's not overdoing it. Italian seasoning, rotisserie chicken seasoning. It does great for just about anything. Just get enough to change the color and you should be fine. Ground cumin, it's amazing. It's actually really healthy for you too, so I tend to add a lot of it to my foods that I cook. And then your casual salt and pepper. I like to get enough pepper in there just for the flavor, and then salt just to add for your daily meals. Now, like I said, it doesn't look like I've got enough sauerkraut in here, so I'll be adding more in to get the right mixture with all my seasonings. And then still moving this all to the side, I'll put it right there while that's still frying over there. Now, if you don't like your food burnt, that's okay. You don't have to burn it. I like my food burnt sometimes, so I'll burn it eventually. So one more thing I like to add to it is Montreal steak seasoning. It tastes great on any type of meat really, except for chicken, because I'm not a chicken fan. But just throw that on there, mix around a little bit more just to get it in there. Then as we can see, I've added more sauerkraut and more seasonings. So I'm going to add that in over there and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have it all spaced out, I'm going to be taking all this Polish sausage and putting it back in the bowl. And when that's done, I'll be back. Alright, so now we have the sauerkraut on a low cooking level. We've got this back in the bowl with all the leftover seasonings and sauerkraut that we couldn't get out with this dirty fork. Since I'm the only person in the house that eats banana peppers, I'm just going to be getting banana peppers and throwing them in. I like a lot of banana peppers. If I ever go to Subway, I get a lot of banana peppers on whatever I get. That's just about enough. Matches nicely with the amount of meat that we have and the amount of sauerkraut. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this bowl, dump it in there on top after I dump this back in here, to sit there and mix up all the little steam flavors and put them back into here, and then stir it up, throw it right back into the pan. And we're back, and it's actually, you can see the steam coming off of it. Just going to give it a slight little bit of mixture to it to sit there and just get all of it in all the places it should be to get the most flavor out of it. And that looks about right. So we're going to throw it back in the pan. It's also still on the low cooking level. I'll probably bump it back up a little bit more just because the meat's going back in it, and we still have to fry the banana peppers slightly. Now while this is sitting here on just a cool temperature, just to warm it up enough, I've also added in onions. I'm not a big fan of onions, but I do like having extra flavor from onions, and onions are a great source of giving extra flavor from the juices that come out of them. So what I'm going to be doing while that simmers over there is I'm going to just be ripping these up just small enough to where I can't taste them unless I bite exactly straight into it. And then I'll get even more flavor than what that'll give. So I've got my onions all chopped up and everything I want from them, so I'm just going to dump them into there. They'll be fine, just leave those out there. I won't fry them all anyways. Now all we gotta do is mix them in. Turn the heat up. Oh, there goes my fork. Looks like I'll be getting a new one. But just turn that back up. Just do about less than medium. And I'll be back while I get a new fork. So, got a new fork after my mess up of the first one. And we're just gonna mix this around, get all the onions where they should be. It actually smells not too good, but yet it's still withstandable. But like, if you like the smell of onions, then I don't know, you probably enjoy it, but I really don't like the smell of onions, but I do like the flavor from onions, just not the taste or smell of onions themselves. So this is just basically all you need to do for the rest of the time is mix it up. Unless you're like me, you want to add a little bit of extra your seasonings to it. Come over here. A little more pepper never hurt. Salt. This is actually sea salt. I'm more of a fan of sea salt than I am normal salt. A little bit more of your chicken rotisserie, just that changed the color. Best seasoning in the world, in my opinion. I can almost put half a bottle of this into whatever I cook, really. I've already clogged it up from how much I've been using it. More Italian seasoning. Now if you're really looking to sweeten up the food, ground cinnamon actually sweetens it just enough to where you can withstand it. Garlic powder, not too much, because garlic powder makes everything taste like garlic. But ground cinnamon can actually sweeten up the food, but the only downside is it's going to smell like cinnamon. No matter what else you put into it, it'll smell exactly like cinnamon. And my mom actually told me when I was cooking food for her once to not put cinnamon in it because she doesn't like the smell of cinnamon when she's eating meat. I don't know if that affects any of you all as well, but it's just a nice little tip. It actually looks decent. Doesn't look anything fancy, but it still looks nice. The banana peppers, you can tell they've roasted. Oh, focus. You can tell that the banana peppers have roasted slightly, but they're not, you know, fully cooked, which is the best thing you can honestly ask for in them. This one's been cooked a little bit more, actually. You can tell it's nice and golden instead of just a plain yellow. Along with that meat, it's a little burnt up top, but that's just how I like it. But that side, if you would focus, it's just about the color I like it, or that you would want it to be normally. You can tell that the onions are being cooked as well, along with the, they're getting heated by, not the stove actually, but the sauerkraut. And the sauerkraut mixed with all those seasonings looks nice as well. Almost forgot the Montreal steak seasoning. Oh my, focus. There we go. Montreal steak seasoning. Just throw a little bit of it in the plate too, because I'm just going to get a bowl. Because I'll just be throwing all this back into the bowl when I'm done with it. and then I'll have a massive cleanup and show how easy it is to actually clean out the whole pan instead. And I'll be back to you when we're doing that. Here's actually the end product. It looks nice in my opinion for a little just homemade country style food. Fills you up just enough to where it'll last the meal, and it's fairly decent in my opinion. You can always fix it with whatever else you want. Here's the pan. It's really easy to clean. All you gotta do is turn on some cold water. I've actually got most of it out just by using my fork. Get it out. Get water in there. Take paper towels. I've got 2 here actually. And just wiping it. Gets most of it out already. As you can see, all I have to do is squeeze. Wipe it again. Gets most of it actually. Then that's it. I'm Simonamek, and remember, always be wavy.